That answer was so quick that she couldn't even believe what she was hearing. Always taking everything in a naughty way, she asks if they became interested in her. Noticing that she was already better, he asked if she was still injured. However, Takedo is already tired of the sorceress's dirty jokes, but she looks at him smiling, saying that it's natural for a beautiful woman to enchant men. Walking away in a sensual manner, she says they should consider her invitation. It seems that finally our protagonists can focus all their efforts on building their own faction. Now it's time for a good stretch, especially after such a tough fight like that. Realizing that he needs a break, Takedo asks how much time is left before the next monsters appear. Far from there, it seems our characters return to the big city. Walking through the crowd, Takedo seems to warn about a giant building by pointing his finger. A gigantic building catches the young man's attention, and he asks his friend to take a look. Reflecting very carefully on the friend's proposal, our hero thinks for a few moments. Soon after, Takedo pushes Chang Ting toward the large concrete building. Apparently, he really wants to know what it's like inside. Arriving at the place, which is full of police, they notice that there are many young people in the corridors. Before they could say anything, they are surprised by someone. A super elegant man appears and asks if they are there to be registered. Smiling awkwardly, Ting asks if he's talking about their abilities. Apparently, it's not necessary to have great abilities to participate. In fact, these abilities can be acquired. Bowing slightly, the elegant man introduces himself as Ki Ji-won and says he's responsible for Zone 6. That name sounds very familiar to our brave one. Slowly taking off his glasses, the man notices Chang Ting's immediate surprise. Trying to disguise the situation, the young man says that his name just sounds like that of a friend. According to the book, Ting reads, some people possess numerous important abilities. However, there was one among the characters who desired to dominate all other people with abilities. This being was described by the name Ki Ji-won, and during the end of the world, he would be of utmost importance. At the beginning of the story, the young man read, this man had a certain authority, but throughout the journey, he formed a group. At first, this man did not pose much risk, but over time, this changed and he became someone very dangerous. However, the most shocking part of his journey was when the great portal number 6 opened. At the end of the chapter where the man appears, he would have emerged victorious, but that was the true beginning of the end. After the victory in the book, as Ki Ji-won declared himself king for a certain period. However, his fate was already sealed when a certain group of mercenaries decided to attack him. In the end, his journey concluded with a death that would announce a new leader and a new era in history. The protagonist thinks it would be good to have the silver-haired guy on the team. He asks for a tour of the place and says that even without abilities, he wants to protect his nation. The other agrees and asks the heroes to follow him to the office for more information. A henchman in a cap tells the boss that the place is well protected and full of hidden people. The boss calms him down by saying he has only detected 3 ability users in that building. Meanwhile, the blonde villain asks if the target is already in his sights. Elsewhere in the city, there's a building far from the main area. A blonde man with an evil smile confirms and says he is ready to launch the attack. A countdown of 5 minutes begins, with 15 minutes in total to execute the mission. In the middle of the food court, someone shouts the name Roger. At the same time, the heroes are in the office being served tea. Their host comments that it is his favorite tea and smiles as he offers the cups. The protagonist thanks him but declines, saying they don't like tea. Commenting that the two are very cautious, the silver-haired figure decides to get straight to the point. With a serious expression, he asks what exactly they are looking for. Both are confused and do not immediately understand the question. The silver-haired figure states that they must be ability users and did not come to join. The next observation is that the protagonist clearly knows who he is talking to. The boy tries to ease the tension by saying that he just has the same name as a friend. Then comes the revelation that since childhood there has been a special intuition guiding that man. He sees things others don't notice and feels like he is standing before someone familiar. The strange thing is that he himself doesn't know who is in front of him. With a firm gaze, he asks who the visitor is and what he wants there. A strong sense of oppression leaves the boy in shock. Even so, he tries to explain that he understands the suspicion but assures that they are ordinary people. The other man says that there are truths that don't come through words and decides to send them for interrogation. Without warning, the heroes are transported to an unknown place. The silver-haired figure